Hello everybody, I hope you're having a good morning and for that matter a great day. As you can see, I'm planning on playing more Genshin Impact today. Today I wanted to cover Yelan's story quest. And soon to be, I'm gonna cover the next event that's coming out. Actually, it's already out, but don't tell anyone. I'm going to be an absolute fiend because I'm pretty sure that this is another one of those rhythm games, and I just love them. Anyway, besides that, I've been really wanting to get into Yelan's story quest for a while now. I really like her character, and I think her story quest either can be an absolute wonderful thing and or is going to be just okay. You know, like, it's either going to convey her character wonderfully and explain so much about her, or it's going to be like, I don't know, Raiden's first part where it's like Raiden walks around a town and we take a photo of her. I actually enjoyed that, even if it wasn't necessarily the best one. I enjoy all of the story quests. I don't think I've ever had one that I've hated. I've hated some of the hangout quests, like ones with Barbara, because I just don't like their characters. But story quests, I feel like are a pretty safe, you know, option for me. I've enjoyed a lot of them. I've really enjoyed a lot of them as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and do Yelan's story quest today. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And yeah, let's get into the video. So the funny thing is, I actually ran into the first part of this quest beforehand. Because get this, right here is the trigger point. So if you ever teleport to this thing right here, you will trigger the first part of the quest, which is kind of funny. So, I actually managed to record it, so put my frantic reactions right up after this. I was just gonna explain to you guys why I was so frantic and weirded out by it, because I wasn't expecting to start Yelan's quest, but I remembered. Anyway, I'm gonna roll the clip and then we're gonna continue on. Well, this is unintentional. In the last episode, I unlocked the story quest. Totally forgot I unlocked the story quest, but yeah, no, I unlocked the story quest last time, and like I did with Miko's, I just stumbled into it. Just because I don't like the notifications, so that's kind of annoying. I'm like editing a totally separate video, and I'm like, oh, I could use a break. I'm gonna just boot up Genshin and do my commissions. No, I won't. Hey. Yeah. Who we've...
Thanks to the help of people like you and colleagues like Ganyu, better all the time.
Yeah, no, you're the one who's working under Ganyu.
I've been feeling distracted at work lately. I just feel constantly agitated.
Maybe you should take a break.
It's a long story. But my father, he's thinking of stepping down from the Tianshu position due to health issues.
That's understandable.
What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy these days.
That makes sense.
He's always said, old age comes for us all in the end.
It really does. You have like
Still,
no real
I just
control.
Can't help but feel a little emotional watching it happen to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, my father's currently on the second floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come pay him a visit with me? He seems very fond of you, too. I'm sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'd love to. If it wasn't in the middle of me editing a totally separate video. Okay, so, like, do I have to enter it? Oh, no. Eee, he's on the second floor. Okay, I'll just make sure not to walk into that again. I'll probably continue this on a couple days from now, but yeah, no. Just wanted to capture that. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Well, yeah, I was a bit frantic there, but it's best now that I go into here, which is where the second part is. I don't know if I'm supposed to go down here and inside. No, I don't think I am. I'm supposed to go to the second floor, which is up here. Oh, there is Uncle Tan. Hello,
Uncle Tian, we're here to talk
Tian.
to you.
Yep.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Hoishin, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea?
Ooh, what type of tea? I feel like that's a very make or break thing for me. I'm more of a black tea person myself,
You've been
but
traveling
I could
all over
respect
the
a green
place
tea.
recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
it's more a concern about your health.
Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me.
Yeah, that happens.
As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels.
Yeah,
I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
it would be
How
probably
difficult is it to
smart
transfer
too.
the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing.
Okay.
Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice. So a public selection process would not be suitable.
Yeah,
We
probably
also want
not.
to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For
Okay.
these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other
Makes sense, makes sense.
You pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Yeah. Yeah,
Correct.
that sounds
Unfortunately,
smart.
due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Yelan.
Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
I mean, I was given one line.
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy
Okay.
joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
I mean,
What do you think?
I guess. It is a good opportunity, but it's less so that it's a good opportunity that I want to take advantage of, and more that I just,
All right
I
then.
want to help out where I can.
Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety, too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Well, yes,
You want to be the next Tianshu?
but also,
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together.
yeah, it's one of those,
So, how
you-
about this?
you are
If
kind
your
of claimed by
investigation
other
reveals that none of
people
the
in
other
higher
candidates are
positions.
qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment,
Oh
this
yeah,
one's on the house.
I forget Yelan owns this tea shop. Because this is
You all
her
set?
most recent, like, base of operation.
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
It's almost like he's
Yeah,
like
it may sound
70 or
harsh,
80
but Uncle
years
Chen is
old.
past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Chen Wei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Chen Wei
Okay.
is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Okay.
Mingbo, Jui.
Out of the
Should
basics
be
so
able to
far,
remember their names, but what does the
Mingbo
assessment involve exactly?
sounds the
Let's
most.
leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion.
You know,
All right.
I'm already
Heads in the
forming
game,
my
people.
opinions.
The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Yeah.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
It's like I was saying before, Yelan would actually work with the position pretty well. It's just the problem of, you
My
know,
legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair.
of course
I've
not.
dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just
Hmm.
accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Yeah,
Oh,
but if you
come on.
complain about the
That's
simple
just-
missing of a
No,
chair,
just being unreasonable.
yeah, you
All
just
right,
are
you
being
two.
unreasonable.
Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable.
Okay, I like you so
Look,
far.
How about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
Yeah, you're just a bit unreasonable. You are a bit.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Oh? Those
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them
those are
formally
the
soon.
3?
Before that, let me run you through the assessment process.
Okay.
I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In
Okay.
the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance.
Of course,
These are
of
the reports
course.
they submitted.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto.
Okay,
Failing
that
the
makes
occurrence
sense
of
though,
some
but
cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues.
well,
There's still
yeah.
some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side.
The longest
Just let me know when
one
you're done.
is both intimidating on the fact that they're planning. You know, they're planning a ton, but they're also in the same right worried or like don't like how current things are, but there's like it's just sending a message. Okay, Mingbo, a manifesto covering the fairs. Good meaning words for work. Okay, not bad. Affairs checks the balances. Problem solving. Solutions. Though it is rough. Yeah, because they wrote a lot. Addressing the commercial issues. Regulation. Okay, okay. So one's about work, one's about a commercial, and one's about whatever the heck the big one is. It was just
Finished,
hard
huh?
to skim through.
What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets.
Yeah, no.
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see
Okay.
the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Chenwei.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you?
Yes.
I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I
Wow.
certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces.
Well,
I trust
I
you
mean,
read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult
you
to
kind of
grasp.
are coming
It
off
was
as a
written with
rude,
an expert
snobbish jerk.
audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Man, your communication skills. Did you learn them from Cloud Retainer?
Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Yeah, although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Okay.
Oh, is it my turn?
Mingbo.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I don't exactly
I'm,
hate.
Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Okay.
I've worked there for 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled 2,347 cases.
I mean,
I have
compared to
12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in 16 days. My
okay.
current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for.
Okay, that's more
auditing the
information of
accounts.
what I wanted to
To be
how
more precise, there are 3 parts to the
I like how
accounts,
this.
namely-
We're just doing interviews.
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
I mean, he doesn't really
You
need
know
to
what?
be good at
Let's
public
leave the
speaking.
self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay.
Now, him going up and almost crying.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
I mean, it was blunt. That was blunt, but why?
Very fair question. I completely
But it is a
understand
fair
where you're
question,
coming
yeah.
from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts.
You could stop trying to
course,
be
two
literally
different
the
problems
perfect
can be
candidate.
interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Okay.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He really.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
I agree, but I have problems with people who, specifically appear, 100% all the time.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Chenwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which effectively target the big issues.
Yes, but
he is very proud and incredibly stubborn.
yeah.
He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented.
But he
He
struggles
and
with
Chenwei
social
are otherwise polar
situations.
opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more.
Last but not least, Jur-E. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, His methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat.
Yeah.
The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people.
Okay, so you agree that
What
he's
really
just
interests
so
me
far the
is
best
that many of his
candidate.
views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Yi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Yeah.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
It's interesting because I don't necessarily know how I feel because he's appearing as the perfect candidate, but I don't like it when people appear as the perfect candidate. It gives me this off feeling. I mean, I do think that the rude and snotty jerk was a little bit too proud of himself and needed to be down a peg or two, but okay, Uncle Tien. About the assessment process?
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right.
Okay.
Let me ask this. The ideas in Yi's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now.
Okay.
Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Bo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Jerry was with me for the longest duration.
That makes sense.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Good question.
Xin Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Bo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Jerry,
Pure happenstance.
We first
Interesting.
met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Jerry came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner.
Okay.
He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
He sounds like a friend to you or family to you. I'm gonna say a friend.
Right. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
It's possible.
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
I mean,
Sounds like
that's
you sure
fair.
love
If you're a
fishing,
fisher,
Uncle Tien.
you're a fisher.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
It does. I have to admit, it does
Doesn't
sound
it?
somewhat tasty.
Also, some time ago, Jerry purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman.
Oh,
We've been fishing recently. Jerry always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
very many chances, I'm sure.
Oh, can Paimon come next
I mean,
time,
I
too?
don't
Paimon
think too
really
many.
wants to try it.
you know, too many
Let's
like
get back to the matter at hand.
off characters
Uncle Tian,
die
I've
off.
reported back. Do you have a verdict?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I appointed
Uncle
you as the
Tian's
assessment
death will be a
officer,
part of the
and I
series,
trust your
or maybe not.
judgment.
I don't know.
Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian.
Okay, I don't necessarily know how I feel
So
because
it's gonna be Juri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
it would be
No,
smart,
nothing
but
like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth
Okay.
is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception.
yeah,
You have
this
to
is
get
what I
information
was
through many different
thinking.
channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
They're her agents.
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua
Makes
is
sense.
a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Wow.
Nothing
Sending
to take
someone
that
out
guy
on
down.
sea
Certainly not a little wind and waves.
sea
Shanghua, Visit all
exploration
the commerce
stuff.
guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Yeah.
Ji, well, obviously, as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves.
That's what I'm
Let's go to the
thinking.
docks
They
first.
have some
Lots of people passing through
interesting,
there.
like I
can
think
find
that
out
we
all
were
kinds
gonna
of
do
things.
this.
If you're looking
It
for
makes a lot of
information,
sense with
why don't
Yelan.
you try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique. He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
I mean, Paimon's not stupid. Like, of course Paimon's gonna occasionally have some pretty good ideas.
Take it easy.
I mean, I know she didn't mean it as an insult. She meant it as a compliment, but, you know, she has her little bit of tsundere attitude. Yeah, I did think that this was gonna happen.
What are you doing here today?
Oh?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Okay.
Even so,
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead, and neither of us wants that.
okay. Well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life.
Okay, yeah, no, that's very Bolen. Bole.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Curious on
And to
a
be
certain
clear,
person.
these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Knock yourself out. I don't care.
Actually,
I mean, I might buy
know
some
about a
from
guy
you,
called
but
Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known.
okay.
I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local
Cruelly?
community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family. He returned cruelty with kindness. Injustice with peace offerings.
Interesting.
A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I not notice him sooner? In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for Wanyo Boutique.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Not exactly.
Why are you asking about him anyway?
Just curious.
You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... That's Juri right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Where?
Where? Huh?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Yelan. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Someone needs to
Okay.
let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as
This is
possible.
what I was expecting, this secret espionage.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this.
Of course not.
Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
Okay, sorry guys, I had a package come. Hello. We're just
So, you're
stealthing.
looking to buy a wineware set?
A wineware set? What for?
Now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Huh. Their
The
shop.
truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you.
Okay.
Leave it to me then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
That doesn't necessarily make you horrible. You're just buying fake antiques.
Thank you very much, Miss Yelan.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you.
Okay, I screwed up. You don't see anything.
So, you're looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
But yeah, no, more or less, fake
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then.
fake teaware.
He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
I don't see that incriminating him too badly.
Leave it to me then. Come and collect
What?
it at
I
Shigu
just,
Antiques
I don't
whenever
know.
is
It doesn't
convenient.
seem like he's, if the only thing he does is buy like fake teaware, like, oh no, he's supporting a fraudulent business. That's it.
Thank you very much, Miss Yelan.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
That's it? Like, I don't know.
Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juri's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be Tianshu yourself, are you?
Paimon, why?
Maybe I
No.
am, maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys.
I know you would.
You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf!
Paimon, you seriously need to be a bit more, less honest in your motives. Like, you shouldn't just immediately flip script just because, hey, you know, They offered me food, so I'm suddenly on their side. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the traveler and food. It's just so honest. I mean, Yelan would take care of us. I know that very well, but... And she wouldn't be half bad for the job. Just Ningguang might not necessarily be so keen on the idea. But if there are no other candidates, then technically that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, more or less, it's interesting.
Wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Okay, okay.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
We wanted to ask about
Sorry
someone.
to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Zhi, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid.
It's not that
yes,
hard,
Zhi.
guys.
He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him.
Oh.
Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to
Stand
that
a
logic,
little
he's sure
taller.
to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh?
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Like, maybe he's been just trying to spread a good image of himself? It's possible. Hello, people on the dock? Hello. Where am I supposed to go? I guess I'm just looking for clues at the wharf. He's not a good fisherman. I mean, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Hello? I'm on your boat now. I guess it's not that big of a deal because the kids here are on the boat.
Love life. Again.
Hello? I don't know. It's interesting because I'm just trying to find out. I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Continue looking for clues at the wharf. I don't see any clues. Hello, kids. Have you heard of him? Have you heard of a strange man? He travels all over the place. You're just playing pirates. Maybe I'm supposed to be talking to the fishmongers. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
3 for
You're
1,000?
from the Society
Isn't that-
for Fish Price Research.
Wow, she switched identity again.
Of course, it's Yelan we're
Society
talking about.
for Fish Price Research. I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Nope. We're asking about
Please,
someone
don't
who might
worry.
be
We're just
fraudulently
here to conduct
selling
a
you
simple
fish,
survey.
actually.
We've heard about a certain Zhi who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me.
Oh, no.
You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Okay.
Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one
Oh.
wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name.
Okay, so he's still poor.
He can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
We would
You
never.
didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think
Okay.
he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hard.
I mean, low self-esteem and being poor isn't necessarily the worst things and should disqualify him from being
That's all.
a high-ranking
I see. Well, thank you
politician.
for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And
I guess
just for
low
the record,
self-esteem
there's
could be
absolutely
taken
nothing wrong
advantage
with the
of,
price of my
but
fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. Okay.
yeah, we should obviously keep going. I just want to dig up any sort of dirt because it's best to just know everything about someone like that. Just figure out what the heck is the deal with him. I'm behind the...
Hey, it's you guys.
Oh.
Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah. Honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows
I don't know this
everything
kid
there is to
at
know.
all.
Hence,
Or
we
maybe
sought
I
you out
do,
to
and I
ask for
just
your
don't
guidance.
remember him.
Really?
I think I just don't
People
remember
said
him.
I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
I mean, it's... I don't really have a problem with lying to strangers. I mean, it's not that big of a deal because it's like, oh, well, correction. I do have a problem with lying personally, but when other people lie to a stranger and I have no control over their actions, it's not the end of the world. You know, like, I can't control their actions. I wouldn't lie to strangers, but you can't tell them everything. You can't tell them, hey, I'm this covert ops agent, a part of the NSA. Hey kid, I need to know, does this guy do these things? And it's like, the kid's like, why would I trust you? I mean, all she said, she's new to these territories, which isn't technically incorrect. She could be new to the Wharf and this kid's concept of his territory. It isn't necessarily a lie, Paimon, but I'm very strict on lying. I don't do it myself. I believe lying is one of those things that you should try to avoid at all costs. Just be honest with people. I feel like honesty with a bit of truth behind everything you say makes people trust you more and makes things easier to communicate. But it's hard. I'm also like a person who's really good at lying, so it's like if I really wanted to lie, I could. I'm like an actor. I can act, but in my own personal life I don't lie that much. But it seems to have made his day. It's not a lie, Paimon. He's a mighty swordsman. What's your problem, Paimon?
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days?
Oh.
I've heard many tales of Jur-E. For example,
I can't remember.
Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Jur-E?
Good question.
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago.
Was it when he was
That,
notified?
People always used to talk about Juri in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him.
Oh?
Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as...
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Juri stories in the street.
Also, this isn't like, this is just being nice to a kid.
Great. So next time I see
Come on,
them,
you need to get like a better sense of lying.
I can
Like,
share some of my candies with them, too.
when she was acting like someone else to the other two people, that was lying. But like, to this kid, it's just playing pretend with him.
Hi.
And he knows it too, like everyone knows.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Duke.
Until we meet again.
Interesting.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Yeah, I heard it.
Strange? What was strange about it? Juri seems to have a great reputation.
He has a great reputation, but the problem is, it was after he was notified of him possibly
True.
becoming...
But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden? Too good to be true?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go.
Yeah.
That's a little over the top, if you ask me. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, it's as if he's
his childhood,
been
his
paying
studies,
people.
the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Yeah.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Jur-E was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it really is.
The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign.
Someone's helping him?
Right. And that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu Shishi.
Ooh.
That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. Which, even if we asked Juri about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan.
Oh, if I had to guess, it's the
Remember
Fatui.
the current affairs and planning stage of the
I mean, it
assessment?
would make total sense if
Since
the Fatui
successful
was
candidate
paying
is
him to
duty-bound
get his stories
implement
out
their
there,
plan
and
after
then...
taking office. Their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever is secretly helping Jur-E must be seeking to benefit from his actions.
It also explains what he was doing when he was traveling about. Maybe he was in Snaznaya at one point and
Come on, let's get back to
met a
Genshin Tea
wealthy benefactor. I just find the whole thing kind of cool. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. Also, I don't think Yelan was lying to the child. Yelan was just being nice with the child. Now, she was straight up just lying to the other two to make her sound more believable. But also, it's not that hard to come up with lies like that. It's harder to just be believed in those sorts of scenarios. But yeah, no, I think that he was probably paid off by the Fatui. That would be my guess. Where am I going? To the top? Am I going inside? No, they still haven't. I'm pretty sure they still didn't model the inside of here.
Topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together.
I think it's the
Officially, the assessment
SNES
is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tien might think of Jur-E, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
My guess is it would be under foreign policies.
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta start somewhere.
Read about the roads. A treacherous lands around the peaks. Sheer mounted connecting rope bridges, only dangerous and good. A rich... what about the sea? I suggest a special patrol unit to deal with sea monsters. Kind of weird. And rock. Rex Lapis, a great deal of wealth in the mountain of leeway. Hindering the chasm, called off. Idling near the okay.
Oh, this reading is
He could have been... So, I'm thinking he could have either been paid off by the mining guild or by Sneznaya or...
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Makes sense.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little
Her walking was sideways, that was weird.
If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tianwei, right?
Yeah.
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Tianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him.
Okay.
The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Tianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
I'm starting to like him. I know, like, at first I was like, he's
his
obviously...
reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Tianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all.
He doesn't care.
Tianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating when you think about it.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make mora, but instead...
to validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
Okay, so he's somewhat like a scientist of sorts.
Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills and am always one
I
step
like
ahead of the
that they have
competition.
personalities.
Well, when you're the...
Whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, I would have been back long before you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating...
Well, we're
Okay.
all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
Okay.
In your opinion, Was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Mingbo at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Mingbo is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has today. According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Mingbo to take a final look at projects before they're implemented.
Ooh.
People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval.
I do like the arrogant
Also,
guy.
there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbo gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Whoa, that's hard to
I mean, it.
imagine.
Like I said
Some of the
before,
gentlest
things
people
not
are.
always as they appear.
Yeah.
So
I like
that's what
actually
you
like
meant by
bears.
that.
They'll
Thank you
come out
both.
of their
Feel
cave
free to
and
go now.
tear off your face. But otherwise,
So,
they're just
have you
living
finished
humbly.
reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
Okay. I know that like I was saying, I don't like
I
that they
can't
were
see any
setting him up
immediate
to be the
problems looking
perfect
at the
one because he's
individual
obviously not
The
great.
only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Cheongshu Pool redevelopment plan.
What's that?
Cheongshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground.
Okay.
At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath
Oh, so he's being
Cheongshu
paid
Pool.
by the treasure
A long
hoarders.
time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory excavation.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive. The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Jur-E's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plans. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure.
The treasure hoarders, the
hoarders,
Fatui, the local.
Even local Liyue factions.
Yeah, the mining guild.
Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our house?
The Black Cliff Forge.
Oh yeah! Juri said the Black Cliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Jur-E wants the Black Cliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Cheongshu Pool.
Does that mean the Black Cliff Forge is Juri's secret supporter?
I mean, the Black Cliff Forge isn't that bad of people.
No, not likely. I've looked into the Black Cliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful factions at
Yeah, no.
present. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Black Cliff Forge, we should see where they lead. We may well find something new.
Me thinks it's the treasure hoarders.
Shenwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different.
But it would make sense if it was also the Fatui.
What about Juri? Is there another side to him too?
Well, yeah, no, everyone has multiple sides, Paimon. That's literally the whole point of this story. Like, Yelan lies to people. That's her whole other side. She just lies. That's it.
It's raining again? This isn't good. If the rain washes away the traces, it's gonna set us back a long way.
I find so far I'm liking this. I sort of expected this like this sort of like espionage line of thing with the practically the leeway version of the military intelligence thing. It's definitely been a good event so far. I've been enjoying it, or a good story so far. I do think it's a bit slow at times. That's fine. You know, I don't think any of their stories are particularly fast, but it's interesting. She seems so, like I like
Black Cliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
I like the whole thing so far. Okay, worksite recordings. Nothing of note today. Nothing of note today. Payday. 3 new recruits are willing to join us. The newcomers are very skilled. He's got made the leader of the team. Nothing of note today. Okay.
What's this? A diary?
From the back, it looks like a ledger, but it seems they also use it as a site log. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think? These newcomers, who could have sent them?
Treasure hoarders.
You think they're suspicious?
I still think it's
Yes.
the treasure hoarders
Look,
or the
it says
Fatui.
right there, one of them's already been promoted to team leader. At this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, they'll be the technical backbone of the team.
Yeah.
That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find underground. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jur-E recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, at most we would maybe do a fresh background check on the place. No red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance. It was a clever move.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure. So, who's really behind all this?
Probably the Fatui.
That's a question for the newcomers.
Maybe we
But
could have
let's
asked
start
that
with
dude
that
over
one
there
over
who's
there.
literally like standing. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, why didn't we just talk to Iron Shoulder here?
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomers.
You want them to teach you or something?
Nope. We want to
I
know.
gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. They're picking up all the skills unbelievably fast. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But they never let us join them. I guess they just need
Interesting.
some time to adjust. I'm sure we'll get to know each other over time.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing it's a long trip to the nearest tavern.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor to drink at Wanmin Restaurant.
Wanmin
It
Restaurant.
rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain stopped, they went out drinking again right away. Hey, you're only
Interesting.
young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them at it.
Interesting. Let's go talk somewhere else. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These newcomers are very suspicious.
Yeah, extremely.
Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easily, but let's follow them and try our luck.
Okay. I'm liking this. It's very espionage-y, corporate stuff.
They went that way. Hurry, we gotta catch up.
But yeah, no, I've been enjoying this quest. It's got some interesting tone.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
No, they're gonna take a sharp turn to
Just as I thought.
right.
They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Oh, hey, look. Did they go to the shack that me and Shinho stayed in? Oh no, there's some footprints down here or something. Oh, there's a small decrepit shack over there.
The footprints stop here, but judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house.
Is this where they discuss their secrets? There's some items on the inside. Compacted mud by bamboo mats. Interesting. A fire. Not long ago. But yeah, no, I think that it was very obvious that he was gonna end up being suspicious somehow and be tied to someone else. It does feel bad that he's sort of working to the benefit of someone else, because I really liked him. I do like the arrogant guy too, because, you know, he's not that bad. I mean, my impressions of him as being arrogant is very
Looks like we were too
harsh,
late.
but
This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence has been destroyed.
I'm not
Look at
exactly
these
surprised.
ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before we arrived.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the paper's been burned. There's only ash left now.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've got to go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned now. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else to throw our investigation off course.
Oh, so they knew we were investigating
This
them.
is where a trail runs cold.
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Jur-E. I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in.
Oh?
Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell
I smell a gentle
There's a certain
fragrance.
place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as the eye can see.
Fatui.
Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind.
There's that.
Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with.
The Fatui.
I can plan our next move.
I mean, it
Lady
does make
Yelan.
sense that they
Oh,
would
thank
want
goodness
it.
I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Who are you?
He's the dude on the sea.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. Since Jur-E likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around. I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Black Cliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup.
Yeah,
So,
that's smart.
What did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jur-E before.
Oh.
Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, someone managed to drag me out. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tien said that Jur-E once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear anything about that at all?
What? That's news to me.
Oh?
No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Interesting.
Weird.
Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Maybe it's from Snezhnaya, the place of fish? I don't know.
Fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some solid evidence. Well, any suggestions?
Send someone to tail. Catch them red-handed when they meet up. It's... If we send someone to tail them, that's not gonna necessarily be easy. Catching them red-handed when they meet up is about the same plan, so okay.
Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Oh, some groundwork? Where are we gonna get the tools to do
When you've worked in
groundwork?
intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high
I
alert forever.
act absolutely
Especially
stupid in front of
when he thinks
Yelan.
He's about to win. Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at Yohai Pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll do next.
He'll then go meet up with his
Be sure
informants.
to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the show.
I mean, that does make sense. I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm really liking this event, or this story quest. I mean, Yelan's a fun character to be around. She's very cool, calm, collected, and like a brilliant planner. I really like her character. I still find her one of the coolest characters they've released, period. And she's fun to play, so I'm enjoying this. But yeah.
It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process.
Okay.
I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates. And now, it falls to me to give him a satisfactory answer.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other people.
Yeah.
Ningbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board, and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to recommend Zhi to the Liyue Qixing.
What?
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become keenly aware of your great talents. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future and taking on some of my workload?
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood. This is the last thing I want to be thinking about right now.
Yeah, no, that's
I don't
completely
mind.
fair.
As long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official appointment. I hope you will work hard and make Uncle Tian proud.
I will live up to the Tianshu name.
And this
On
is our
this,
trap.
you have
We've
my
laid
word.
it, and now he's
I should
falling
go.
right into it.
I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like to join me?
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a celebration.
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, Traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind knowing.
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave.
Well, you see.
Yes, ma'am.
It's neither of you two who are lacking anything.
Finally got rid of them.
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
Ooh.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Because he doesn't know.
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Maybe because, once again, he does not know that the Fatui are bad people. That would be my guess. Or it's just because they offered him a lump sum of money and he didn't do his due diligence and research. Either or, I trust he's a good faith person, a person with goodwill, and I trust him. Even if he made a dumb mistake in trusting the Fatui, you know, I can't exactly blame him. The Fatui aren't horrible people. I mean, they just take advantage of people, which is something that is not great. Oh, here. Cool. I'm like, where am I going?
Sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's subordinates? I guess Zhi didn't let his guard down. Still as vigilant as ever.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense when he's being watched.
It's possible.
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So, where did you lose him?
Xinyue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get close enough to check without blowing our cover. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been to arrest him there and then. But without any evidence, that would
It'd be meaningless.
So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. The key is figuring out what he's trying to achieve. Let's go to Xinyue Kiosk.
Yeah, okay. Maybe he's still in here or something. Or maybe he escaped through here. Maybe there's a different route. I have no idea.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little bit strange?
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was here?
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to pick it up.
Liquor and wineware. I see. Let's go.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
Oh. Yeah, because we did see him buy the antiques earlier, so it might be the fact that he's, you know, he's picking up the antiques now. That does make some sense. And he would expect no one to know that because he wasn't, you know, expecting anyone to watch him.
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Zhi has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
That's fine.
Don't worry. Price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Zhi's wineware set include wine glasses, or...?
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr.
Bought
Zhi
2.
bought 2.
Interesting.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right, see you next time.
Okay, okay.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Fair point.
So has the plan failed?
No.
Oh, if we can't
Yelan's planning something. We can all tell.
not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Xinyue Kiosk anyway?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Zhi isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father.
Oh, yeah.
If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses. No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Zhi's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status. Hence the need for expensive-looking wineware.
Yeah, that does
Now,
make
where
sense.
might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Zhi may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy.
Oh.
In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Juri bought that liquor for and follow them.
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I mean,
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Juri is gambling everything on this.
I mean,
We
his
really
buddy
wanna
will
catch
also
him,
be
we're
drunk,
going to
so
have to accept a little risk ourselves. Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Juri might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Juri may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yensheng Tea House.
okay. I like where this story is going so far.
Take it easy.
We've laid our trap. He didn't fall for it, but now we have another course of objective with the stuff that we know to more or less find out.
Timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone.
Yusupov?
He's heading in the direction of Qingshu Pool.
Ooh.
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Juri mentioned in his manifesto.
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice, I'll give them that. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
That is completely fair. But it would be funny if, like, a top-tier adventurer shows up.
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we just might hit the jackpot this time.
Even if monsters show up, I can kill them pretty easily. I mean, without getting spotted, I don't know. This place does crawl with a ton of Fatui. It also makes some sense that that's the case, that a Fatui would come here. But yeah, I'm really liking this event. I mean, it's not the best event I've ever done, but it's pretty good.
Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Go to the point at which she pointed out. Okay, I'm here.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground.
Oh,
The workers left an emergency
a
access
domain.
route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey. Still, be
This is
ready
where
to
you
fight
get
at
to play
any moment.
Yelan.
Any resistance needs to be taken out quickly.
Don't worry, we're all professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little helpers at?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them, but they'll join us later.
Yeah, probably getting officials involved, explaining things to certain higher-ups. You know, the norm. I really wish I had, who's it built? Jean. I'm working on trying to get my Jean built for this team, but I don't have her. Looks like I got her moved to the 4th slot because of trial reasons.
Gotcha.
And boom. And boom. And boom.
By royal decree.
Illusion shattered.
I'm honestly surprised that
Let's light it up.
who's it that this is just
As I
like
expected.
not that
This
bad.
shouldn't be too much trouble.
It isn't too much trouble. I really like playing Yelan. Ooh, is that the Snaznaya official?
You guys see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Juri. Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry.
I assume that there's some monsters or something that I'm gonna have to fight to open it, or a puzzle of sorts.
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Oh, this is an elevator. I mean, it makes sense. The rocks in this place typically bounce you up. It is better that these are fires and not the traditional leeway rocks, because an archer is always crap at breaking rocks. I don't mean to be rude towards archers, but
There is no escape.
they're really bad.
Gotcha.
Bows are just horrible at it. And
Busted.
dead. Not too bad, not too bad. Got your occasional treasure chests that you can get while in the domain. They're not too hard to find typically, but they can be. The water is rerouted. Oh, is this where the puzzle's revealed? And then there's a hole?
The water's gone down. Hey, look! Is that another way through?
It's possible. What's with this weird puzzle? I guess I can't do it until I investigate the other area. I guess that makes some sense. An elevator of sorts and some barrels. Singular apple. This tells me everything I need to know. The Fatui were here. Oh, they gave me Yelan's bow. I didn't even realize. This is traditional Yelan with Yelan bow instead of stringless. I run stringless on my Yelan because stringless makes your E and Q deal like a ton of damage, which is great for Yelan, who scales off of those specific things really well. There's nothing here. Oh. A door. Is this one of those sliding puzzles? What's on this side? Oh, chest. I guess that makes some sense. Put this one back too.
Take it easy.
That one's expected though. And kaboom. And kaboom.
Quietly now.
I should probably ride an E. That way killing him's way easier. Okay, what's hidden behind here? Nothing but a crate. Okay, I thought I was gonna get another chest for that one. I'm kind of disappointed. Just a little though. Oh, this one has a chest. How kind of them. Actually giving me something. Okay, I have both embers. Don't exactly know what those are for, but... What's with these blocks? I can push them? Is this one of those block puzzles? Did I already mess it up? Oh. An open... Oh, they opened beneath the stone?
Take it easy.
Interesting. Whatever. I won't put too much thought behind it. Oh, is this gonna light the other part of the puzzle? This is gonna let down the water, which will also reveal some light. Oh, not just light, it will reveal water. Interesting. Oh, so the yellow ones that glow need to be put into the yellow slot.
Flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
Okay, it's just a simple slide puzzle. It's just a simple slide puzzle. I can't. Oh, I have to push it up over there. That's actually not too bad. Oh, I should leave this one down so I can slide out these ones. Because I have to get rid of 2 of these. And these are a bit harder to get rid of. This puzzle's not too hard. It's just, you know. Apparently I'm opening up that, and then, hello? Can I push you? Why can't I push you in that direction? I can only push you... I can't push you at all now? Why not? Okay, now I can push you. I don't know what the deal with that was, but... I should be able to shift these two into position now. It's not too hard of a puzzle. Kind of actually kind of fun, you know?
The door is open. Let's go.
And I opened up the, you know.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
The main door. Oh, one of the troll dudes.
Gotcha.
Boom.
Quietly now.
Boom. I want you in my room.
Game's up. Fun's over. Shine down.
And full combo. Dude, it's so strong. I assume that this isn't my Yelan either. Cause I assume they, yeah, no. Oh, they have her C3. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely not my Yelan. I wish it was. My Yelan's just as strong, I'd argue, but...
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed.
Oh!
Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
To make sure it's not poisoned.
Oh, sorry, that went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup. Come on,
that makes
another
sense.
round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people.
Oh?
I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison and came up with the idea of delivering it through fish soup. What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result.
Wow.
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tien Shu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
I assume
Don't
lowering the
Whatever
guard
tasks you
around
have for me, I will perform them diligently.
exterior stuff.
It was poison. That's why Uncle Tien hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jurye's doing.
I'm not surprised.
What a nasty guy. Seize him.
No.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera?
No.
If not,
Well, yeah.
I can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture it for posterity.
I actually have 2 cameras. And a third screenshot tool.
Liquor. We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Jurye. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how hard I work. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes, under normal circumstances, the
I
gap
wholeheartedly
between you and other
disagree.
people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingbo had reputation. But you had nothing. You were just another nobody.
You could have just been honest.
And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
Yes, you're so...
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Zhi has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera?
Plenty.
Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Zhi plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. Huh?
It's poisoned. How'd I know?
Zhi, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
He's even worse than I thought.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my word.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingxu.
Oh! You're smart.
Things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingxu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Oh. Pretty smart.
Zhi, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of the—
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophan?
What? How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him.
Oh, he takes your position and then you guys work together. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
That traitor!
Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams.
Hello there. You have no idea who you're even dealing with, do you? Of course not.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used.
Do you think I, of all people, would accept a bribe?
Origins, what other choice did I have?
Be honest.
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think?
Uncle
Exactly.
Tuition always
Jer-E,
trusted you.
Clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough. That's enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan, but you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Yenshang Tea House tomorrow morning.
Yep,
I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
I expect
No,
she's
that could be
gonna plan
You should
to
leave this
have
one to
him
the
become a
professionals.
mole. I mean,
Don't
at
worry,
the cost
as
of
long
him
as they're
never
willing to
being in
cooperate,
position that
this'll
he
be a
wanted.
straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you tomorrow.
He had an opportunity that he squandered. It's so sad, but it happens all the time. This game never ceases to be pretty good at storytelling. I actually really like its stories. I mean, this one has a fitting end.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
And he might not have lived.
Successfully secure such a seldom seen poison. It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Yeah,
Uncle
Baiju.
Tien will be heading off now.
Baiju is
Remember
too
to
good
get
at
plenty of
that.
rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're...
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much.
Hello. Tell Chi-Chi I say
You're here
hello.
too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. And I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it.
You're feeling... Are you feeling any better?
Yes. The exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting clearer again.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tien. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position. But Qianwei and Mingbo both have potential.
Yeah, they do.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Yeah.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tien not that surprised?
I mean, he's been in this business for like 40-something
Don't
years. Of
underestimate
course
Uncle
he's not
Tien.
surprised.
He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer if he hadn't had his doubts about Zhi. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tien?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu.
Yes.
When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend. In the end, even he changed. But when did it start?
What if none of this ever happened? What if What if none of this had ever happened?
I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family background and fame mean everything to many people.
Yeah.
I don't attach great importance to that.
Actually, having a nobody
I had
fill
no
that position
reputation to
can
speak
actually
of
be
when
a
I
good
first
thing.
became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things.
Well, yeah, Ganyu's
What
just
I really
good.
admired about Juri was his intelligence and resilience.
I have to admit,
He is pretty
he's a
smart.
smart guy and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Juri was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Shinue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison, and he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Juri would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
Ah.
That's still really dangerous.
It is.
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
It's kind of admirable, but kind of reckless as well.
How is Juri now?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yenfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when you arrested him?
Yeah.
Yes, Juri's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once
She
the
wanted to
Fatui
catch the
became
Fatui
involved,
red-handed.
things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't understand.
Paimon, it's okay.
colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu selection process. With Yusupov in our hands and a statement from Jur-E, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options.
Yeah.
Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
I mean,
So,
yeah,
okay,
it really
well,
is just a big
did
plan.
your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
The Fatui must be spying on us.
They might have
Otherwise, they never
gotten rid of
respond so
Theophan.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved.
Ooh,
The
Regrator?
Fatoui's main forces
I don't think we've ever
concentrated there.
heard about
Regrator
Regrator
was only
before.
treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity
Hmm.
that Theophan got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue,
I think only one Harbinger is
gives me a starting
confirmed
point for my
dead,
next
so... And
I
that's
have to
Senora.
ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role, as Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any real danger.
Yeah, no.
All right, I'm done here.
Yelan likes
go.
getting her
I'm
hands
heading off
dirty.
again in a few days, and I still have to prepare.
And she's a very sarcastic person.
As you might have guessed, it's for me to know and you to find out.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
If you have any more
especially the
questions, just ask
Fatui
Uncle Tian.
and the Abyss
After
Order.
the recent turn of events, I'd say he owes you one. When
Were those the two? I don't know if they were trying to tease that, but are those two people always there? Oh, it was the two of them. Hello there.
So Jerry is already in prison, I guess?
You think? He poisoned Uncle Tien. I still can't believe he'd do that. Why the long face?
Nothing. I think it's a great shame.
It is.
I always thought he's very smart. If he became Tianshu, he'd be able to accomplish many things I could never hope to.
Don't feel bad. I'll admit he was a strong contender, but give me 3 years and I'll overtake him. When I become Tianshu, I'll make you my
You
deputy.
really would
Like
have,
the sound of
honestly.
Start by working on your temperamental issues. If you can't keep your cool, your work will suffer. Right now, you still have a long way to go before you'll be eligible to take the Tianshu position.
I'll get there. One step at a time. And then, before you know it, there'll come a day when you won't be able to find a single flaw in me or my work. First things first, though. Let's go and talk to Uncle Tien.
Alright, that's a nice resolving thing. I was like, are they actually teasing that they were like eavesdropping? But no, they're not eavesdropping at all. They were just being honest, you know? They're down there. I really liked this story quest. I mean, there wasn't too much in the way of action. We went through a simple domain. That's normally what we do in these quests. But it was still very enjoyable and very interesting. We got to do a lot more political stuff than we normally do. And I love that aspect of this game. The aspect of getting into how every country sees all the diplomatic things that every other country does. Snezna is kind of demonized a lot because they're kind of, you know, they're taking an aggressive position to try to gain power in every corner of the world so eventually they can, you know, rule it with no consequence. But they don't see themselves as bad. And a lot of the things that they do is just to benefit the people of Snezhnaya. So I can respect it. That's why, like, I can respect Child. Like, Child's actually a pretty decent person. You know, he just has his temperamental issues. I mean, Signora was one of the few characters who, you know, had actual issues that needed to be worked through. But instead of working through those, she ended up dying, which was kind of sad. I wonder what they'll do with Scaramouche and the other ones. I know that there are 8 Harbingers, and it will be cool when we get to meet all of them, and I can't wait to see all of their interweaving story elements and how they affect every country. I'm guessing that this teased Harbinger is going to have a bit more of a part to play in the new Sumeru, or maybe the country after. I mean, it would be cool to, you know, see them in Sumeru. I can't wait for Sumeru to come out. It's actually not that far away, believe it or not. I mean, if updates are as slow as they have been, there might be a couple more, but I can't wait for the future of this game. I really love the storytelling and the aspects of the characters. But if you guys enjoyed as much as I did, you know what to do. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. I really enjoyed today's video, but see ya and goodbye!